Michael Owen. Michael Owen, what a fucking prick. And excuse my language, I don't usually swear a lot on videos, but again, if you're going to disrespect my club like that, then yeah, you deserve it. You're a fucking prick. And all of this is to sell a couple copies of your book. Bearing in mind that Newcastle United saved you when nobody wanted you. Real Madrid were done with you. They were using you as a super sub. Liverpool didn't want you back. They already done business with you, and this is before you got your move to Man United. In fact, we were part of the reason why you got your move to Man United. And to say that we were the worst club that you've played for, the worst move that you've made, sorry Stoke fans, but Stoke City, who are now languishing in the Championship for a reason, come on now. Yeah, I know I'm late to the party with this. I know it's come out a couple of days ago, obviously just to kind of sell his books and stuff like that, and he needed a hook. I can imagine his author calling up or his publicist calling up and saying, look, Michael, we need to sell this book somehow because otherwise this is going to be going straight into the bargain basement straight away. And he probably will do anyway. And he's probably thought, hold on, who can I piss off the most? And who will I be able to rile up the most? I know, Newcastle United fans, that's fine. And he's worked in that way because a lot of us have been triggered, but rightfully so. Because if you're going to take the piss out of our club, I mean, you was a lights on Tyneside for a long, long time. And the fact that we had to have your name hanging above us when it comes to transfer records up until quite recently was a bit annoying to us. So we finally got rid of you in that respect. But for then you to now come out of the woodwork and then just try and take the piss out of us just to sell a couple books, nah. I mean, if you haven't seen it already, I don't know where you've been, especially if you're a Newcastle United fan. But if you're a football fan in general, I mean, I like buying footballers' books. I like hearing about their stories, some of the stuff that they don't say on interviews, they reveal in books. And some of it is just, well, in fact, all of it is just absolute garbage. Some of the things that stand out, I mean, let's start with Sam Allardyce, for example. Sam Allardyce was a manager at the club. Again, he wasn't much loved at the club, mainly due to his tactics, but he was shooting his tactics down. Apparently in training it was a lot of 11v11, balls over the fullback, that sort of stuff. And he's always playing to, that was it, ratios or numbers, a numbers game, amount of balls into the box equal to a goal and all the rest of it. And if that's Sam Allardyce's tactic, that's what works. I mean, who are we to argue, or who's he to argue when it's worked for him at Bolton, for example, Blackburn, for example, what else have clubs? He's been at West Ham to an extent. You guys will know better than us. So when Sam Allardyce was doing that, apparently Michael Owen wasn't a fan. He's more of a fan of Graham Souness. Yeah, that says it all, really, in terms of his tactical knowledge. So he was shooting that down. He also then went on to shoot down the move itself to Newcastle United. So that's probably what's got Newcastle United's back up the most. The fact that he was on 120 grand a week and didn't make himself available for a lot of the time, mainly due to the fact that he wanted to get out of the club as soon as possible. That's what pissed people off. And the fact that he said that Real Madrid wanted to get rid of him, and then Liverpool didn't want to sign him because apparently they sold him for 8 million to Real Madrid, didn't want to spend more than 10 million on him. Us, the mugs, now we've got to take this one, but at the time it looked like a good deal. Spent 16 million pounds on him, which is, as I said before at the start of the video, it was our record signing up until quite recently. Spent 16 million pounds on him as a signal of intent, of us spending big and going big as we did back in the day. Signed him up. He got a grand unveiling. I remember this. I wasn't obviously up there. I was young at the time. Couldn't go up there, but I'm sure it was about a good 20,000 fans that were out there watching just to see him unveiled, like a Real Madrid sign or whatever. We did it with Shearer. We did it with Owen. We don't do it no more. Thank God, because I don't think we've got those sort of players to bring in now. And for you to then disrespect the team that saved you from that, because otherwise you'd be rotting on the bench just behind Ronaldo, behind Raul, behind whoever else was there as well at the time. And then, yeah, just to shoot us down like that, total lack of disrespect. And that's what you're going to base your book around, just shooting us down and everything around Newcastle United. What a piss take. And what else did he say? Oh, obviously then he shot down Alan Shearer, who spat back at him on Twitter, which rightfully so, Alan Shearer's got the right to do so. Then Owen has the brass balls to come out of it and try and get a rise out of Shearer saying, you wasn't saying that when you was getting your move or trying to push through a move to Liverpool. Listen, Alan Shearer will always be a god at Newcastle United. He could pretty much, I don't know, sleep with Rafa's wife. I'm not saying he did, but he could, and he'd still be a god at Newcastle United. So you don't shoot down the god of the club. Don't try it, bruv. Even if it is true, which I doubt is true, because he could have left us. He could have gone to Man United and won things, won a lot more things at Man United than he did with us. So to say that is just absolutely ridiculous, man. I'm not having that, and you're a prick more so. Who else did Michael Owen shoot down? Shot down Allardyce, shot down Freddie Shepherd, that was it as well, God rest his soul. Alan Shearer as well. Paul Ferris as well, the physio who released his book talking about that injury. Because, again, he was meant to come back and he was like, oh, I'm not really feeling it. It's going to ruin my move to my next club, which ended up being Manchester United after we went down. So basically he's saying he never trusted Paul Ferris, but I know who I would believe. I don't know about you. I'm not trying to influence you in that way, but Paul Ferris is saying one thing. Well, Paul Ferris is saying the same thing as Alan Shearer. Alan Shearer is saying the same thing as probably Sam Allardyce and all the rest of it. So it goes without saying. And then obviously mercenary Michael, or Michael Owen as he likes to be known, then goes on to play for Man United. Doesn't do too well with that. Yes, he scored in the derby, but apart from that, didn't really do much Man United. Man United fans probably can vouch for that. And then from then, obviously goes and ends up at Stoke. And now he's just a poor man's flipping Robbie Savage on BT Sport. So all of that to just kind of sell some books. If that's what your thing is, then so be it. But baffled. Absolutely baffled. And anyone, look, even the back page, that is a shop in Newcastle that usually sells tickets, memorabilia, everything Newcastle United related, they spat back at him and not having it. And listen, you're going for the wrong fan base. I know you want to sell your crummy little book, but to try and go after Newcastle United fans like that just to sell some books, nah, we're not having it. We're not having it whatsoever. And fair enough, you didn't get on with some of the managers. Allardyce, as I said before, wasn't a fan favourite. Joe Kinnear after that wasn't a really fan favourite either. That's fine. But to go after the fans and the fan base, and again, that was another one as well. Of course he's going to go after the fans, calling us delusional and all the rest of it. Now, listen, that stigma is long gone. We don't expect that at all. Probably expected it then, if we were honest, because again, we were still finishing quite high up in the table. Fourths and fifths and thirds and whatever. We signing supposedly big players like yourself to play alongside the likes of Shearers and all the rest of it. So, of course you're going to be expectant. Of course you're going to be thinking that we're going to be doing well. But to be harping on about fans are delusional, all the rest of it, that's just old. That's just that old mindset that goes along with your era. And again, to be fair, like, you probably needed us at the time. You still need us now. That's the ironic thing. You need us now, like you did then, to sell your book. Because nobody knew you, or nobody even took notice of you after that Euro 96 goal. That's the thing. So, drives me on the ball. So Liverpool fans hate you, Newcastle United fans hate you, Man United fans hate you. I don't even want to go into Stoke City fans because you weren't even there long enough. You weren't even there long enough at Man United, to be fair. You probably weren't even long enough at Newcastle United fans to make an impact, really. Let's face it. Yeah, he scored in the derby, did you? Yeah, that was it. That's it. That's it. So, again, you've gone after Shearer, which is a big no-no in any in any walk of life. You go after Shearer, that's it, you cancelled. You go after the fans, automatically cancelled. And you go after the club. Yeah, there's people at the club that you can go after that probably would have joined you in battering down. You could have gone after Mike Ashley, which you probably did a little bit, but we haven't seen much of that. You've tried to go after Sam Allardyce. Yeah, it's much of a muchness. We didn't really rate him that much anyway at the time. But to go after the ones that mean the most to us, nah, not having that. So Michael Owen, fuck you, and don't ever come after our club again.